Today we're doing a comparison of the Sigma 28-70 f2.8 versus the Leica R 28mm f2.8 Vintage Prime. But first, if you're new to the channel, my name is Anson, and on this channel we talk about filmmaking, specifically budget gear, tutorials, and a look at the projects that I'm working on. So if that's something you're into, consider subscribing. Before we dive into it, there's a couple of things I want to mention. One is I'm currently doing a film challenge, and if you want to see the rules and participate in that film challenge to potentially win a $100 gift card to Amazon, then check out the link in the description below, which is linked to the video explaining the rules and all the details. The other thing I want to mention is I do want to say that Sigma did send me this 28-70. Now they have not asked me specifically to say anything about this lens, and I've actually already reviewed this lens, which is why we're doing this a little bit differently this time around. We're doing a comparison between this Leica R and this newer Sigma zoom lens, just to have some fun, and honestly, I'm all about the fun, so let's do it. And we're gonna dive right into it by talking about overall sharpness. Now, objectively, the Sigma does win in this category. It is very sharp. It is an excellent photo lens. Now, that being said, depending on what you're looking for, the Leica may suit you more. If you're looking for something that has a little more character, something that has a little bit more of a filmic look to it, then the Leica may be a better suited option for you. The Sigma does offer a little bit more contrast in the colors, and I noticed that the colors did not wash out as much as with the Leica when I was doing those backlit shots. So again, that's something you want to consider when you're looking at these two lenses. Now, as far as manual focusing experience, I am definitely going to give this to the Leica because the Sigma is a focus by wire lens, and so the Leica is going to have hard stops. It's going to have more of a tactile feel. It does have that more organic experience when it comes to manual focusing, and so it's a little bit easier to focus pull with the Leica. But the other thing I want to address is focus breathing, and this I will say goes to the Sigma. I felt like the Sigma does have a little bit better focus breathing. That does not surprise me at all. Vintage lenses tend to have pretty bad focus breathing, and so if you're looking at something that has very minimal focus breathing, the Leica may not be the one that you look at, and in this comparison the Sigma may be something you lean to in that scenario. And so keep that in mind. The Leicas are going to have some focus breathing, some more than others, but the 28 is definitely going to have some focus breathing. And so the next category is going to be minimum focusing distance, which I'm going to say goes to the Sigma. In my initial test on minimum focusing distance, I held an object close to the lens. With a Leica, I was about a foot away, whereas with the Sigma, I was only a couple inches away. And so absolutely minimum focusing distance goes to the Sigma, which brings me to the next category, which is flaring. Now, this is where it gets into your personal preference. If you are somebody that needs to have more controlled flaring, then the Sigma is the one you want to go with. There's not any kind of craziness going on in your frame with the Sigma as far as flaring, but for me, I'm one that I love character in my flaring, and that's absolutely 1000% gonna go to the Leica. These modern lenses are made to handle flaring a lot more, which in some cases is good if you don't want it to be distracting, but if you want a little bit more character with your flaring, it's not that great, and so you lean into something like a vintage lens to get a little bit better flaring, or even some modern lenses that are made with a little bit less coating or just a different coating to offer some more flaring in the shot. Both lenses handle chromatic aberration very similarly in the fact that it's very minimal. I did a couple of backlit shots, which are very high contrast shots, and I really had to punch in to notice any type of chromatic aberration. And so both these lenses are going to handle that very, very well. And so that comes down to which lens may be good for you. Which one would I recommend? And again, it really comes down to the project you're working on. If you need something that's just ultra clean, sharp, and smooth, then maybe I go with the Sigma. And the other thing that's the advantage of the Sigma is this is a zoom lens, and so you're going to have a zoom range of 28 to 70. So you're not dealing with a prime that has just one focal length. And so that's something to keep in mind too, which is an added bonus. And the Sigma is under $1,000. I think the last time I checked, it was like $800 or somewhere around there. Whereas the Leica is a vintage lens, and they're not really easily attainable, especially if you're trying to do serial number matching. The 28 that I purchased was over $1,000 for one prime lens. And so that also comes into play, is what is your budget? If you need a whole bunch of focal lengths, then maybe the Sigma is better suited for you. But if you want a prime lens that has a ton of character, maybe that's the Leica. And so again, it really comes down to what is your project, what is your style, and what are you looking for? So with that being said, what I want you guys to do is go to the comments below. Tell me which one you prefer. Would you rather have more character and have that kind of filmic look, or do you need something that is a little bit more sharp and you like that clean look of the Sigma? So again, what do you prefer? Let me know in the comments below. And so that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this fun little comparison of the Leica versus the Sigma. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like. If you're digging the overall content from the channel, consider subscribing. Remember, if you are interested in the Antonico 2022 short film challenge, check out the link in the description below and leave me a comment which you prefer, the Leica or the Sigma. With that being said, as always, thank you all for joining. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Stay safe, be happy, support each other. Wash those hands, and I'll see you here next time. Peace.